Narration script. 1. Introduction to Earth voiceover. Cheerful, upbeat tone. Hello, kids! Have you ever wondered about the big, beautiful planet we live on? That's right, it's Earth. Earth is our home, and it's full of amazing places, creatures, and incredible things to discover. But what makes Earth so special? Let's find out. First, did you know that Earth is the third planet from the Sun? It's just the right distance to keep us warm and cozy. Not too hot like Mercury, and not too cold like Neptune. Scientists call this the Goldilocks zone, because just like in the fairy tale, it's just right for life. Earth is also the fifth largest planet in our solar system. It's not as big as Jupiter, but it's much bigger than tiny Mercury. If you could take a rocket ship and fly all the way around the Earth, you would travel about 40,000 kilometers, or nearly 20,000 miles. That's a lot of travel. But Earth isn't just any planet. It's the only one we know of that has life. That's because Earth has something very special. Water. More than 70% of Earth's surface is covered in water, which is why it's often called the blue planet. 2. Formation of Earth voiceover. Calm, storytelling tone. Now let's take a journey back in time, way, way back to when Earth was just a baby planet. Imagine a time more than 4.5 billion years ago. Back then, our solar system was a swirling cloud of gas and dust. Over millions of years, bits of this dust started sticking together, forming rocks, and those rocks stuck together to form bigger rocks, and eventually they formed planets, including Earth. At first, Earth was a hot, molten ball of rock. It was so hot that nothing could live on it. But slowly, over millions of years, Earth began to cool down. The surface hardened, forming a solid crust. Deep inside, Earth was still very hot, and that heat caused gases to escape, creating Earth's first atmosphere. As Earth continued to cool, something amazing happened. Water vapor in the atmosphere started to condense, and it began to rain a lot. This rain filled the low places on Earth's surface, forming the first oceans. And guess what? Those oceans would become the cradle of life. 3. Earth structure. Voiceover. Engaging educational tone. Now that we know how Earth was formed, let's take a look inside our planet. Earth is like a giant cosmic onion with layers, and each layer is different. The outermost layer is the crust. This is the part we live on, and it's made of solid rock. But did you know that the crust isn't all in one piece? It's actually broken into big pieces called tectonic plates. And these plates are always moving, very slowly. When they bump into each other or pull apart, they can cause earthquakes. And when one plate slides under another, it can create volcanoes. Beneath the crust is the mantle. The mantle is much thicker than the crust, and it's made of hot, molten rock called magma. This magma is constantly moving in slow circular patterns, kind of like thick soup bubbling on a stove. The movement of the magma is what causes the tectonic plates on the surface to move. Deeper still is the outer core, and it's really hot. So hot that it's made of liquid iron and nickel. This layer is what gives Earth its magnetic field, which protects us from harmful radiation from the sun. And finally, at the very center of Earth is the inner core. Even though it's even hotter here, hotter than the surface of the sun, the inner core is solid. That's because all the weight of the layers above presses down on it, keeping it solid. 4. Earth's atmosphere. Voiceover. Breezy, enthusiastic tone. Now that we've explored what's inside Earth, let's talk about what's above it. Earth's atmosphere. The atmosphere is a layer of gases that surrounds our planet, and it's super important because it helps protect us and all living things. The atmosphere is made up of different layers, each with its own job. The layer closest to Earth's surface is called the troposphere. This is where we live, and it's where all our weather happens. Rain, snow, thunderstorms, and even sunny days. Above the troposphere is the stratosphere, and this is where you'll find the ozone layer. The ozone layer is like Earth's sunscreen. It protects us from the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays. There are a few more layers above the stratosphere, like the mesosphere, where meteors burn up and create shooting stars, and the thermosphere, where the northern and southern lights dance in the sky. The outermost layer is the exosphere, which gradually fades into outer space. That oceans and continents. Voiceover, adventurous, exploratory tone. dive into one of the most exciting parts of our planet, Earth's oceans and continents. Earth's surface is made up of large land masses called continents and vast bodies of water called oceans. There are 7 continents: Africa, Antarctica, Asia, Europe, North America, South America, and Australia. Each continent is unique. It has its own special features. For example, Africa is home to the largest desert in the world, the Sahara, while Asia has the highest mountain, Mount Everest. Now let's talk about the oceans. There are 5 main oceans on Earth: the Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Southern, and Arctic oceans. The Pacific Ocean is the largest and deepest of them all. It's so big that it covers more area than all the land on Earth combined. Oceans are incredibly important for life on Earth. They provide food, help regulate the climate, and are home to a huge variety of plants and animals, from tiny plankton to enormous whales. Did you know that the continents weren't always in the places they are today? Millions of years ago, all the continents were joined together in a supercontinent called Pangaea. Over time, the tectonic plates moved. Pangaea slowly broke apart, forming the continents we know today. And guess what? The continents are still moving, just very, very slowly. 6. Life on Earth. Voiceover, wonder-filled, awe-inspiring tone. Earth is the only planet we know of that has life. But how did life begin? Scientists believe it all started in the ocean more than 3.5 billion years ago, with tiny, single-celled organisms. Over millions of years, these tiny organisms evolved into more complex forms of life, and eventually, plants, animals, and even humans appeared. Today, Earth is bursting with life, from the tiniest bacteria to the biggest animals. Life on Earth is incredibly diverse, and we can find living things in almost every environment, from the deepest parts of the ocean to the highest mountains, and from the hottest deserts to the coldest polar regions. Different places on Earth are home to different types of ecosystems. An ecosystem is a community of living things that live together in a particular environment. For example, a rainforest is an ecosystem where you find trees, birds, insects, and many other kinds of animals. A desert is another type of ecosystem where plants and animals have adapted to survive with very little water. The variety of life on Earth is called biodiversity. It's really important. Each species, no matter how small, plays a role in its ecosystem, helping to keep everything in balance. Unfortunately, many species are at risk of disappearing due to human activities, but there's still time to help protect them. 7. Earth and space. Voiceover, expansive, cosmic tone. Earth is part of something much bigger, the solar system. The solar system is like a giant family, with the sun at the center and all the planets, moons, asteroids, and comets orbiting around it. Earth has a special relationship with its nearest neighbor in space, the moon. The moon is Earth's only natural satellite, and it plays a big role in our lives. For example, the moon's gravity helps create the tides in our ocean, and it also stabilizes Earth's tilt, which helps create our seasons. Speaking of seasons, did you know that Earth's axis is tilted? This tilt is why we have different seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter. When one part of Earth is tilted towards the sun, it's summer there, and when it's tilted away, it's winter. But Earth isn't the only planet in the solar system. There are 7 other planets, each with its own unique features. Some, like Mars, might even have had water and life long ago. 8. Protecting Earth voiceover. Inspiring, hopeful tone. As amazing as Earth is, it's also fragile. Our planet faces many challenges like pollution, deforestation, and climate change. But the good news is that we can all do something to help protect it. Simple actions like recycling, saving water, planting trees, and using less energy can make a big difference. It's also important to learn about and support efforts to protect endangered species and natural habitats. Remember, Earth is our home, and it's up to all of us to take care of it. By working together, we can make sure that our planet stays healthy and beautiful for future generations. So, the next time you look up at the sky or feel the ground beneath your feet, remember how special Earth is and how important it is to protect it. Together, we can make a difference. Kyusho. Why is Earth called the blue planet? Great question. Earth is called the blue planet because about 70% of its surface is covered in water. When you look at Earth from space, it appears mostly blue because of all the oceans and seas. Pretty cool, right? Q2. How old is Earth? Earth is really old, about 4.5 billion years old. That's so long ago that it's hard to even imagine. To put it into perspective, if Earth's history was a 24-hour clock, humans have only been around for the last few seconds. Q3. Why do we have day and night? We have day and night because Earth spins around like a top. This spinning motion is called rotation. When your part of Earth faces the sun, it's daytime. And when it's turned away from the sun, it's night.